Good evening, my dear GE warriors. Welcome to the IAT 2026 Physics Mock Questions practice before your final examination. And a lot of students were requesting for the IAT sessions to be conducted. And remember, this is a channel for you, by you. We are just a medium, and I feel really happy and privileged and also very excited that I am helping you out in this particular journey of yours till the last moment. By now, I know many channels are going to not even think of conducting sessions. Many channels don't even conduct proper J Advanced sessions, and here we are conducting sessions for all of you for IIT. Very few channels do this good work, and I'm really happy we are doing this for all of you in English medium. Okay, so let's begin with the class. Hi QT, hi Shruti, hi Payal, hi Karthik, Amrita, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible, visible to all of you. We're going to start with the physics session. Just a couple of days back, there was a math session. If you have not checked it out, please check it out. We'll very soon plan for chemistry and biology also. We're just trying to figure out the time because chemistry sir is also busy in NEET and other things. I'm very good. I'm very good. Thank you so much, guys. So shall we begin? Yes, might? Okay. Here comes the first question on your screen. There is a particle of certain mass which moves in 1D. Potential energy of that particle is mu naught 1 minus cos AX. The time period of small oscillations about the stable equilibrium position is. Very interesting question. Yeah. Yes, maths already completed. Very good. Good evening, Tomar. We'll be just doing questions, man. No theory, because how many times will you do the theory again and again? Already JEE mains done, BITSAT done, CET done, JEE advanced done, and so many VIT triple E, SR and JEE. So many times you should have been revising theory, but yeah, so that's why I thought we'll just do questions today. Okay, vanakkam guys. So first of all, you should look at this special equation of energy, which is of the form some constant, let's say mu naught, you open up the brackets, minus mu naught cos of AX. Because these oscillations are small, that means X is going to be small, and whenever you have a small value of X, whenever you have basically a small value of X, then cos of that small number, just like sine theta becomes theta, like that cos of theta becomes 1 minus theta square by 2. Is that right? So why not write it as mu naught? Instead of cos AX, I will write it as 1 minus AX, this square, this whole thing divided by 2. As you can notice, mu naught and mu naught will cancel, negative and negative will become positive, and I'm left with mu naught A square X square divided by 2 is the energy. Now this is very important step that I have used. I have used small angle approximation only because of the fact that it has been given it is small oscillation. So that is the reason why I was able to use this. Alright, now look at this special equation which I have got. Compare this with your regular expression for energy of SHM, potential energy of SHM. It is of the form half K X square. Half is there, X square is there. That means this number which is there, mu naught A square, that is exactly your K. That is exactly your spring constant equivalent. Are you able to see that? Just compare, guys. What has happened? Okay, the board, just 1 second, guys. It will take some time. It will come back. Sometimes it freezes. I don't know why. Okay, so it's back, I guess. Let's see. Yes, it is back. Yes, so you can see that this number K is very similar to mu naught A square. Is that right? So therefore, once I've got the spring constant, it becomes very easy for me to figure out what's the time period. Time period is 2 pi under root of m by that K equivalent whatever we got. In this scenario, that equivalent K is nothing but what is it? Mu naught into A square. So mu naught into A square 2 pi under root this Yep, what option is that? Option A, very good. Who is it? Saurav, everyone, very nice. Option A is absolutely right, guys. Okay, very good, very good, very good, Mohammed. Very good, Saurav, very good, everyone. You can differentiate it and also get it, but that would be lengthy. I felt using small angle approximation was a much better move at this point of time. Now look at this question where you have been given a particle which is having some velocity as a function of time. The question is how much distance it moves in the first 4 seconds. Now this kind of questions you need to be extra careful. You can find it very easily, but you will realize that actually that is not the right answer, because the question here is not on displacement, it is on distance. So it's quite possible that the particle goes like this, like this, like this. So the displacement and distances are completely different. So you need to figure out, is the particle ever changing the direction? So that is the most critical part of this problem, because if this particle has this velocity, it's quite possible that it goes forward and comes back. And when there is a change of direction, you will notice one very important thing which happens to the velocity. The velocity changes the sign. So if it was negative, it will become positive. If it was positive, it will become negative. So at this point, the velocity becomes 0. That is what is happening when the direction changes. So if at all, before 4 seconds, it is changing direction, you need to be careful. If it doesn't, then displacement and distance will be same, because it is going along the same direction. So let's figure that out. So velocity being 0, use this equation. 0 is equal to t square minus 4t. Bring 4t on this side is equal to t square. T0 is not a solution, so 4 is equal to t. That means t is equal to 4 seconds. It stops and turns. Luckily, we are just saved by literally a fraction of a second or something, because exactly at 4 seconds it has stopped. So I really don't have to bother about displacement and distance, because they will end up being same. So exactly at 4 seconds it stops. So my displacement and the distance will be same. Else I will find how much has it moved till it stops. Then from the stopping point, how much has it moved? 2 times I have to integrate and find out each value and then add to get the total distance, which will be lengthy. Luck by chance, it's not lengthy, but this is the crux of the problem. So in order to find the displacement, I will just integrate velocity with time. So velocity is nothing but t square minus 4t. So integration of this, limits 0, 4, 0, 4. Just do the math and tell me how much is the displacement coming out to be. Come on, my dear warriors. A lot of you have already told some answer. Is it B, C? Many people are saying C. Somebody is saying, Rihan is saying B option. Come on guys, everyone. Is it B or C or D? Yes, let me know in the chat box. T square's integration is t cube by 3. So it will become 4 cube by 3 minus 0 cube by 3 minus 4. T's integration is t square by 2. So it will become 4 square by 2 minus 0 square by 2. Okay, come on, do the math. This will become how much? 4 cube is 64. So 64 by 3 minus, again this is 64 by 2. 64 by 2. Is that right, everyone? So just see, you will have to take the LCM. So this will be nothing but 6, and this will become 2 minus 3, and this is 64. So it will become minus 64 divided by 6, which is minus 32 divided by 3. Now don't get scared because there is negative sign. Negative is just telling you which side it is going. The distance traveled will be the mod of the displacement. So it will be just mod of negative 32 by 3, which is just 32 by 3. So 32 by 3 is C option. 32 by 3 is C option. It will be the modulus. Negative sign has no meaning in terms of distance. Is that right? So C option, many of you got it correct. Saurav and OP Gamer and many of you have got the correct answer. Very good. Let's move to the next one. A projectile is launched with some speed. The maximum height reached is equal to the range. So if your projectile is launched this maximum height is equal to the range. Now these kind of questions are also very common. So if h is equal to the range, these are direct formula applications. Height formula, you can substitute it as u square sine square theta by 2g, and range is 2u square sine theta cos theta divided by g. Or you can also put it as u square sine 2 theta by g, but sine 2 theta's expansion will be 2 sine theta cos theta. So the height coincidentally happens to be equal to the range in a particular scenario. So that's what the question is all about. Now you just need to see what and all will cancel, like g will cancel, u square will cancel, sine theta, one of it will cancel, and I am left with a single sine theta here divided by 2, and over here 2 times of cos theta. So take cos theta below, so sine theta by cos theta, that 2 will multiply with this 2 will become 4. So tan theta will just become 4, or theta will become tan inverse of 4. So tan inverse of 4 is C option. How many of you have got it? Very good. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Let's move to the next question. There is a block of certain mass kept on a wedge. The system is accelerated horizontally, okay, horizontally, so that the block does not slip. The force which is exerted by the wedge on the block. Interesting. So first let's draw the scenario so that we get a feel. This is the wedge. This is the horizontal surface, and on that you have kept a block like this. And this is a standard question where you move this entire system with some kind of an acceleration, and when you move it, this block does not slide down, it's just getting balanced by the pseudo force. You can look at it in non-inertial frame also, and you're ensuring the acceleration is good enough to prevent this block from sliding down. If you did not push this wedge ahead, then this block will come down, this wedge will go left side, so that system will be an accelerated system, something like that, it will fall down. That can become a center of mass question also. Anyways, so now the question is, what will be the force exerted by the wedge on the block? First of all, you need to figure out how much this acceleration is, and this is a standard value. You should know this by heart. It is g tan theta. It is g tan theta, where theta is basically this angle. How that comes is via free body diagram, again nothing else. Okay. Now if you look at the forces acting on the smaller block, normal and weight, that's it. These are the two forces from the ground frame I am talking about, nothing else. Okay, so this is nothing but small mg, this is nothing but normal. Now actually speaking, even if you do not know this, it's okay, but just chumma giving it to you in case that was asked. See, the normal force will have two components. One component will be like this, and the other component will be like this. It's obvious, if this is theta, then even this angle will be theta, because you can see this is theta. If this is theta, right, this will be 90 minus theta, this will be again theta. So every alternate angle, theta, alternate theta, will be theta. So this will be n sine theta, and this will be n cos theta. What is n sine theta doing on this smaller block? This n sine theta is ensuring that this block will accelerate forward with some acceleration. Yes, this is the only force which is there in the horizontal direction. If you look, it's a smooth surface, so no friction, nothing else. I'm looking at it from inertial ground frame. So apart from weight and normal, nothing else is there. So a component of the normal is the force responsible for the acceleration horizontally. What is happening in the vertical direction? Nothing. The block is not moving. So anyways, the forces should be balanced. In the vertical direction, the forces definitely should be balanced. So n's cos theta will be mg. Therefore, n will be mg sec theta, because cos will go there. So mg sec theta or mg by cos theta, which is option B. This is exactly what was asked. What is the force by the wedge on the block, or block on the wedge? One and the same thing, right? Right. I was born in Tamil Nadu. Yes, you can say. Cool. Yeah. This formula also, you please remember, it can be useful at times. You never know. Moving on to the next one. Two blocks, masses connected, no, they are in contact on a smooth surface. A force is applied on M1. The contact force between the blocks is how much? Okay. So, two blocks, take it like this. They are on a surface and this is M1, this is M2. A force F is applied on M1. Okay, a force F is applied like this on M1. Question is, what is the contact force between them? First of all, if you take the entire thing as a system, if you take M1 plus M2 as a system, the only force is F. So that F is the total mass multiplied by their combined acceleration. So the combined acceleration is F by M1 plus M2. Now the acceleration is the same for both of them. Obviously they are connected, they are having contact, so both of them will move together with the same value. Now if you look at only the smaller block, on that the M1 is applying a force, let's say I call it N or N prime or R, whatever you want to call it. So there is a force which is R, which is like action reaction between M1 and M2, that is the contact force between M1 and M2. This is the only force on M2 in the horizontal direction, nothing else is there. So strictly speaking, this R will be that mass into acceleration, and that acceleration we figured it out, which is F by M1 plus M2. So that is your contact force between the blocks. So M2F by M1 plus M2, which is C option. Many times people get confused and they write M1F, which is B option. Okay, be careful. It is not it is not M1F, it is M2 times of F, because on the smaller block, the only force is between these two blocks, nothing else. That is pushing it. Cool, everyone? Shall we go ahead to the next one coming up on your screen? Okay. IISc Bangalore versus IIT Madras. If you are getting research at both the places, then any day go to IISc. But if you are comparing a BTech program at IIT Madras versus IISc BSc MSc program, they are two different things. You cannot compare them. Okay, both have different purposes. It's like comparing oranges and apples. Orange is better or apple is better. Okay, so doesn't make sense. See, IISc is meant for research. You want to go in R&D. You do not think of placements. You don't think about that hustle culture. You are thinking of deep research. You might have to do PhD. People don't take placement so seriously. When you go to IIT, that's when you are thinking about entrepreneurship. You are thinking about finance. You are thinking about, getting a job, or you are thinking about many things, post-grad, so many things are there. So two different things, two different scopes, ambitions, targets, goals, everything. So completely up to you. Okay, you have to decide. Why can't M1 come? Very good question. If you just take M1, then tell me on M1 what are the forces? F and then R. Then the equation would look F minus R is equal to M1 into A. That's a completely different equation altogether. So understand that, depends on whose FBD you are drawing. Accordingly, my equations will change. But even if you solve it by this method, believe me, my R value will still come out to be the same. It won't be different. Okay, this is for block labeled 1. The equation will change starting, but when I eventually solve it, I will still get same R. Is that clear? Okay, who is that? OP Gamer. Yep. Right. All right. So let's go to the next one. Here, there is a pendulum released from horizontal, tension at an angle of 60 degrees. So a multi-step approach problem. There is a pendulum like this. Okay. Then after some time, it comes to 60 degrees over here. This would be its true vertical. At this point, it is at rest, angle of 60 degrees with the vertical. Okay, so this is essentially 60 degrees. At this point, the pendulum's bob will definitely have some kind of velocity. Okay, so it has essentially taken this particular path and it will continue its journey over here like this. Now, couple of things. When you release it, the potential energy gets converted into its kinetic energy, and I will need that to figure out how much is the tension in the string, because if you notice over here, the tension will be like this, the weight will be like this, there will be tangential acceleration like this, there would be centripetal acceleration like this. I am looking at it in the inertial frame, ground frame. So mg will have a component in this direction, this is theta, so this will be mg cos 60 degrees. So in the radial direction, as you can notice, in the radial direction, if I use Newton's law, which is net force is mass into acceleration, in the direction of acceleration you have tension, so tension will be a positive force. Gravity component will be opposite to the acceleration, so negative, so minus mg cos theta, so minus mg cos theta is equal to the mass into centripetal acceleration. Therefore tension will be mg cos 60 plus, because it will become positive on that side, plus m into AC. Centripetal acceleration is v square divided by whatever length L is. Now the next step, cos 60 is basically half, so mg into half plus m by L multiplied by v square. Now the v square is the problem, so let's figure it out. Guys, how much is the height drop? If you are able to tell me, your job is almost done. Well, if this is length L, this is my height by which it has dropped. You can see this h is the radius as cos 60. So from the geometry only it is seen L cos 60 is the height, cos 60 is half, so it is L by 2. So the drop is L by 2. That means if I use potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy concept, potential energy will be mg L by 2, kinetic energy will be half m v square, 2 cancels, cancels, so g L is equal to v square, or v is root gl. Perfect. I just need v square actually, I don't even need the velocity. So instead of v square, just put gl over here. As you can notice, LL has got cancelled and I am left with mg by 2 plus mg, which is 3 mg by 2. So 3 mg by 2 means 1.5 mg, which is B option. So it's a multi-step approach, correct? Many of you have got it. Understood? Yeah, very nice. So one common mistake which I have seen a lot of people do over here, they eventually do tension is balancing component of the weight, which is absolutely incorrect, because tension can't balance the weight's component, because there is a net acceleration towards the center. It is a circular motion problem, so acceleration is there, so how can the forces get balanced? So it is wrong to balance these two. In fact, their difference is producing the net acceleration. Okay, that's a common mistake which I have seen students do. Let's do the next one. There is a solid sphere which rolls down an incline and there is no slipping. The minimum coefficient of friction for it to roll down is how much? So we have a solid sphere and it is, rolling down like this with some acceleration. What happens is there will be friction over here, and that is the only force, because normal and mg really can't give any kind of torque. This is the normal force, this is the mg force. They can't give the torque. Friction is the only one responsible for the torque, which will give the angular acceleration. So if at all you want to find coefficient of friction, you need friction force. For friction you need alpha, because that friction will come from the torque equation, and if you want to find alpha you need linear acceleration. So it's a multi-step approach problem. Okay, so let's do the math. So first let's find A. Without that nothing we can do, and A is having a generic formula g sine theta upon 1 plus moment of inertia by m into r square. So g is g, sine theta is sine theta, because theta is not given. It's a solid sphere, so solid sphere has 2 by 5 mr square and divided by mr square cancels. So I have g sine theta, 1 plus 2 by 5 is 7 by 5, so it will become 5 by 7 g sine theta is A. But I am not done with it, I need alpha. Alpha is nothing but A divided by R. So A divided by r will become 5g sine theta divided by 7r. That is your alpha value. That is your angular acceleration value. Why I need that? I'll tell you now. I had explained before, but still. So now I'll use torque is equal to I alpha. The only torque is of the friction, and friction will give a torque of r into f, and moment of inertia is 2 by 5 mr square, and alpha is right from here. Alpha is right from here. So substitute that value, which is 5g sine theta divided by 7r. Oh my goodness, so many things. First of all, let me see what and all can I cancel. 1r, this r, this r, this 5, thank God. So I'm left with, therefore, friction is equal to 2 by 7 g sine theta. But that's not what I want. I want mu, and friction in the limiting condition will become mu n, and n will become, think about it, mg is cos theta. So it will become mu mg cos theta is equal to 2 by 7 g sine theta. Gg gone, yeah, Gg gone. Is one m also missing? Yeah, I missed one m. That's what I was wondering. Yes, so m and g gone. Right. So mu will be equal to 2 by 7 is there. Sine theta is there. Bring that cos fellow down. So it will become 2 by 7 times of tan theta. 2 by 7 times of tan theta is option number A. That is absolutely correct. Very good, Saurav. Very good. Chacha Paikra. Wow, what name? Yes. So you saw this in JEE Mains, correct? This is a very important common question, but because it is lengthy, you know, many good examinations will end up asking it, because it's a multi-step problem and there is a good chance that you might make a mistake. Please try to solve the same question for hollow sphere, disc, solid cylinder, hollow cylinder, everything. Any kind of question can come, okay, except for rod, because rod can't roll, okay. Tanu, my Biswas, which one you did not understand, please let me know. I'll help you out with it. Okay, anything that you have, just don't tell, explain once more. I will not understand which part, which question you are telling. So please write it down clearly in the chat box so that I can help you out. Okay, fair enough. What is this? There is a circular disc of some radius which has been now taken out from a bigger disc, and the periphery touch the center of mass of the remaining portion. Standard type of question, but procedural, lengthy question. That's why it becomes tricky at times. So this is the bigger disc, this is the smaller disc which has been removed, and what is remaining now is only this much. Only this much is remaining. Yeah, only this much is remaining. Okay. Now, if you notice, this is the vertical axis, this is the horizontal axis, perfect. And the center of mass of whatever is remaining will be somewhere over here. I don't know where that is, that's what I need to figure out. I will call this point obviously as the origin. And in order to figure out the center of mass, the logic is simple. The x coordinate of the center of mass will be mass of that big disk into center of mass of that big disk minus mass of the small disk into x coordinate of the center of mass of the small disk upon mass of the big disk minus mass of the small disk. m1 x1 minus m2 x2 upon m1 minus m2. So whenever you are truncating, whenever you are removing a body, then instead of plus, you will get minus in the answer, okay, in the formula. All right. So now the whole problem boils down to what are those masses, what are those x coordinates. Well, if you see carefully, for the big one, it's located here. This is the smaller one, somewhere like this. This is that big disk, this is that smaller disk which has been removed. For the big disk, the center of mass is here. For the small disk, the center of mass is here. So the x coordinate of the center of mass of the big disk is basically 0. The x coordinate of the center of mass of the smaller disk, what is this going to be? This is going to be radius r, isn't it? The smaller disk has a radius of r, so x small will be just positive r. Is that right, everyone? Till this point clear? Yeah, perfect. Yes, some people also like to remember some formula like a1 x1 minus a2 x2. That is a very smart formula, because I know it's a disk, it's a 2D figure. So the masses will be directly proportional to the area. So I can directly do that as well. And if it was a 3D figure, then instead of doing all this nonsense, I will put v1 x1 minus v2 x2 upon v1 minus v2, because I know for a 3D figure, mass is proportional to the volume. So you can use that directly, yes, and save a lot of trouble, definitely. But just in case you want to know the procedure, here it is what you need to do. If you want to talk about the mass of this big disk and small disk, here it is. Mass of the smaller disk will be its areal density, because mass per unit area will be the same. I will call that mass per unit area sigma into its area, which is just pi r square. If you talk about the mass of that big disk, it will be mass per unit area multiplied by its area, which is pi into 2r square, which is 4 sigma pi r square. That's all. This number is nothing but mass per unit area, which is basically the same, because it's the same layer, same sheet from which you have been cutting that thing. So if you take a unit area, its mass will be same no matter where you cut it out. So the mass is mass per unit area into area. The bigger one has a radius of 2r, so 4 number will come over here. Now just go back and start substituting, you will get the answer, guys. Nothing great about it. So mass of the bigger disk is 4 sigma pi r square. X coordinate of the big one is 0. Oh my god, this is 0, minus mass of the smaller one is sigma pi r square. Sigma pi r square, and x coordinate is how much? It is plus r. So just put plus r, and over here 4 sigma pi r square minus sigma pi r square. Anything into 0 is 0, so negative, and then sigma pi r cube divided by 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3 sigma pi r square. Sigma sigma goes, pi goes, r square goes, so minus r by 3. So at a distance of r by 3 from the center. So at a distance of r by 3 from the center, that is the answer. Is that clear? Yes. In 2 dimension you can use area, and if the same question came but instead it was a sphere, then everything will change over here. That is a mass calculation. Rest of the things will be same only. So this mass will be rho density into volume. Rho into volume. That's it. Apart from that, all the procedure will be the same. Okay? Tanumay, this one means which is that this one, man? How do I know what is that this one? Please tell me what is that this one. Okay. So let's go to the next one. A body of mass m undergoes 1D elastic collision with a stationary body of mass capital M. After the collision, the body rebounds with speed 1/3. What is the ratio? Very good question. So you have a small mass hitting another big mass. This is at rest. This is going with speed u. After the collision, the small mass is coming back with a speed equal to 1/3, that means u by 3, whereas this mass, I do not know what that velocity is. What is the ratio of m by m? One thing given to me is it's a elastic collision. That's something which I will look forward to. First things first, I know momentum should be conserved, so maybe I should use that. But I do not know velocity. Oh, I don't know velocity v. So I'll do one thing. I will use this concept of elastic collision. In elastic collision, E is equal to 1. That means separation by approach, relative speed is 1. That means separation speed is equal to approach speed. What is the separation speed? These two masses are separating away from each other. Both the speeds are opposite, so their speeds will add. So separation speed is nothing but u by 3 plus v. Approach, this guy was at rest, this guy is approaching with a relative speed of u only. So relative speed is u. Therefore, from this v will be u minus u by 3, which is just 2u by 3. Perfect. I have found out v. Now I will think about conservation of momentum. Conserve momentum. Conserve momentum. Initial momentum is mu plus 0. Final momentum is mu by 3 plus m into capital V. This V is 2u by 3. So I'll just put 2u by 3 over here. U gets cancelled. So m, yes, u gets cancelled. So m is equal to m by 3 plus 2 capital M by 3. Bring this M by 3 over here. So it will become 2u by 3. Yes, everything fine. mu by 3. Yes, 2u by 3 m. Okay. There is one mistake in this thing, and that is this sign. Look at this. This mu by 3 momentum should have been negative. Yeah, momentum is a vector quantity, so sign matters. So this guy is coming behind left side. So yes, this should have been negative mu by 3. Correct? Okay. So when I bring this over here, so it will become 2 times, or rather just put mu plus mu by 3 is equal to 2 times mu by 3. Now mu plus mu by 3 will be 4 by 3. So 4 by 3 mu is equal to 2 times mu by 3. U will get cancelled. 3 will get cancelled. So 4 small m will be 2 capital M. That means, what did we have to find? Capital M by M. So capital M by M, capital M by small m will be 4 by 2, which means 2:1. So 2:1 is the answer, which is B option. That's it. So be careful about the signs, or else you will get a completely different answer. Is that okay? Yeah. Yes, Saurav, we had to put that negative sign. Just when I was solving, I realized it and I corrected it then and there. Shall we go ahead to the next question, man? Okay, here we go. Escape velocity, Earth. What is escape velocity of a planet? Double radius, double density of Earth. Okay. What is escape velocity formula? That is root 2 g m divided by r. I can see the radius has changed and density has changed, but there is no concept of density in this formula as of now. So we need to manipulate this formula to bring in density into the picture, or else we are not going to get the answer. So I have an idea. I'll do one thing. This is root 2 and g, and this is r. So instead of mass, can I write mass is density into volume? So it is density into volume. Perfect. And because of that, what happens? Root 2 g by r, density is there. Volume is 4 by 3 pi and then r cube. Oh, perfect. So what happens now? 2 4s are 8. Okay. So we have 8. We also have pi. We also have g. We also have rho. And we also have the number 3. And r will cancel, and we have r square over here. So eventually that r square will go outside as r. And then we have 8 pi g rho by 3. That is my escape velocity. That's more than enough for me to now solve the question, because now I know how it is dependent on density and also the radius. So escape velocity is directly proportional to the radius and directly proportional to root of density. So the new escape velocity by Earth's escape velocity will be ratio of the radius, double the radius. So the new planet has double the radius as compared to Earth. The new planet has double the density, so 2 rho by rho. So r goes 2 root 2 is new velocity by Earth's velocity. So new velocity will be escape velocity 2 root 2. 2 root 2 times escape velocity, which is C option for Captain Shreyas. Is that right, everyone? No, it is not B, it is C option. Okay. So these type of questions you might have to manipulate and bring it into the required terms so that we get the right answer. Okay, let's go to the next one on your screen. A satellite revolves around the Earth in a circular orbit. Height, radius of the Earth. Height is the radius of the Earth. Orbital speed of the satellite in terms of acceleration due to gravity. If you notice, most of the questions, they are not like very direct, tuck, tuck, tuck. You cannot just substitute and get the answer. It's a multi-step process, 2 or 3 formulas, multiple concepts. That's how it is, but not very difficult like J Advanced, single correct also. So that's how this examination is. It will take 2 minutes to solve these questions, including the time for reading the question, understanding it, marking it, solving it, verifying it. So 2 minutes to 3 minutes you should take easily. Okay. Now, if you see this question, height is given to be the radius, the orbital speed of the satellite is asked. Orbital speed of the satellite is having the formula root gm by the radius of the satellite. Now the radius of the satellite will be radius of the Earth plus altitude. So in this question, the altitude itself is r, so it will be r plus r. So it will become root of gm divided by 2r. But now comes the real challenge. How do I write it in terms of small g? Small g is capital Gm by r square. So capital Gm is g small r square. So instead of Gm, just put gr square into the picture. That's it. So my orbital velocity will be, instead of Gm, I have put gr square. And that 2r will come over here. R will cancel. So I am left with gr divided by 2 is the orbital speed. Root gr by 2. Yes, option B is the right answer, not C. Be careful, not to root 2 gr. Okay, it is a B option. Everyone fine till this point? Can we go ahead to the next question? Okay, so first you write orbital speed formula, then you write gravitational formula, manipulate it, substitute it, cancel things, you get the answer. Moving on. A mass suspended by the spring and some constant time period is t. If it is cut and now suspended by one of the halves, not in parallel, not in series, just one of the halves, what is the time period? So older spring, you have this mass, the time period is 2 pi under root m by k. Now when you take a spring and cut it into halves, if original was k, this each one will be 2k. Yeah, it becomes double. So remember, spring constant is inversely proportional to the length. So if the length is half, spring constant will double. So the logic comes from k is inversely proportional to the length of the spring. So now you have taken one of these springs and then put it to the same mass. The new time period will be 2 pi under root m by, instead of k, it will be 2k. So 2 pi under root m by k is as it is, and 1 by root 2 is there. This number is nothing but t, and so it will be t by root 2. This entire thing is original time period. So t by root 2 is C option, absolutely the right one. Okay? Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good. Shall we go ahead to the next question, my dear warriors? On your screen, here it comes. Two simple harmonic motions, y1 and y2, what is the ratio of their amplitudes? All right. First one is very simple. For this SHM, this itself is the amplitude. Now for the second SHM, you need to be little bit careful because the second SHM has multiple terms. Now if you realize carefully, y2, which is 5 sine omega t plus root 3 cos omega t. Yeah. So there is one sine term also and one cosine term also. Yes, one sine term also and one cosine term also. Is that 5 common bracket? Oh, sorry guys, that 5 is a common bracket. So my bad. So this would be 5 root 3 cos omega t. So 5 is there both places. What you should do when such things happen? This is a combination of SHM. So neither the amplitude is 5 nor it is 5 root 3. I know the new amplitude, whatever that amplitude A2 will be, it could be some sine again omega t plus something. This amplitude can be found by phasor addition, treating the amplitudes like a vector quantity. One is a sine, another is a cosine. So for the sine, the phasor has a length of 5 units. Cos is a phasor with a phase difference of 90 degrees with the sine curve. Sine curve and cosine curve, they differ in phase, they differ in the phase by 90 degrees or pi by 2 radians. So the phasor of cos will differ by 90 degrees, but the length of the phasor will be 5 root 3. Each of them are vectors, and now these vectors have to be added to get the resultant amplitude. This is basically your A2. Needless to say, using Pythagoras you can easily get it. So 5 square plus 5 root 3 square, so which is nothing but 25 plus 3 into 25, which is 75, which is root of 100, which is basically 10. So this amplitude is basically 10. Guess what? Both the amplitudes are 10 and 10 only. So A1 and A2 coincidentally both are 10. So 1:1 is the answer. So hence option A. So you have to use phasor addition. You have to treat amplitudes like vectors, but those vectors will be directed depending on their phase. Both are sine, both will be in the same direction. Both are cos, both will be in the same direction. One is sine, one is cos. They will be at 90 degrees with each other. That's the concept of phase. How did you write 5 root 3? Tanur, see, this 5 was common, my dear. This bracket, no, even I missed it initially. This bracket is there here. So this is whole bracket. Can you see? So when I open up the brackets, 5 into sine, 5 into root 3. So that is why 5 root 3. Is that okay? Paka? Got it? Shall we go ahead? Next question on your screen. Water is flowing through a pipe and varying cross section. Some point pressure is P, other point the velocity is 2V. What is the pressure over there? Right. So looks like a Bernoulli's equation where you have a pipe of varying cross section. Here the velocity is V. Here the velocity is 2V. Here the pressure is P. Here what is the new pressure P prime? That is the question. I think it is horizontal. So there is no question only of height difference. So using Bernoulli's equation we can get it. Using Bernoulli's equation, that's all. So pressure plus half rho V square. Rho GH no need because it is the same height, so no height difference, so don't worry about it. And the next point pressure is P prime plus half rho 2V whole square. So bring this guy over here. So P plus half rho V square minus half rho 4V square is equal to P prime. Therefore P, this is 1 minus 4, 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So minus 3 by 2 rho V square is equal to P prime. So P minus 3 by 2 rho V square, which is B option. That's it. Simple Bernoulli's equation. Nothing more, nothing less. Cool. Shall we go ahead? Next question on your screen. Here it comes. Excess pressure is there inside a soap bubble. It is the thrice of the excess pressure inside a soap bubble. Second soap bubble, sorry. The ratio of the volumes, surface tension concept and the concept of excess pressure. Excess pressure is 4 times surface tension by the radius. S is surface tension, R is the radius of the soap bubble. 4 will come for bubble. For a drop, it is 2. That's the difference. So it is inversely proportional. The excess pressure is thrice the excess pressure in the other bubble. Oh, so delta P1 by delta P2 is thrice. So this is 3 by 1. But delta P is inversely proportional to R. So R2 by R1 is 3 by 1. Or rather R1 by R2 is 1 by 3. Okay, that's one thing. Now the next part, what is the ratio of their volumes? So V1 by V2, volume is 4 by 3 pi R cube. So 4 by 3 pi R1 cube and 4 by 3 pi R2 cube. 4 by 3 pi cancels. So we are left with R1 by R2 whole cube. R1 and R2 is 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 whole cube, which is 1 by 27. So 1:27 is C option. Absolutely right. Very good. Some of you are giving the answers really fast. Sometimes making mistakes. Keep in mind that Mistakes will cost you -1 in the IIT exam. It's having negative marks. Okay. Yes, C option is correct. Moving on. You have a heat to convert, you have to find the heat required to convert 10 gram of ice at 0 Celsius to water at 20 Celsius. Interesting. If you have ice which is at 0 degree Celsius, first thing you will do, you will convert it into water at 0 degree Celsius. It will be a melting process, and then you are going to warm it. You are going to warm it, increasing the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius, still in the water mode. The formulas are different. For this, the formula is ml. For this, the formula is ms delta T. Yes, the formulas are different for both of the heating processes. One is a phase change, one is within the phase temperature change. So, I would say my total heat will be ml plus ms delta T. Mass 10 grams. Latent heat 80 calories per gram plus mass 10 grams, S, which is specific heat capacity 1, temperature difference 20. So it will become 800 plus 200, which is 1000, everything in calories. Option B. How many of you gave it? Very good. Sometimes you can have more complex process where the ice is not at 0, ice is at -15 Celsius. So first you have to warm the ice, then melt the ice, then warm the water. So then you will have ml also, ms delta T, and one more ms delta T will be there for the ice, but that S will be for the ice. So that can be a more complex question which can be asked. Okay, moving on. N1 moles mixed with N2 moles, one is mono, one is dia. Cp by Cv of the mixture is given. What is N1 by N2? Reverse question. Usually they give the moles and they give the mix and they ask you to find out gamma of the mixture. Here reverse is asked. Okay, so gamma of the mixture is given. If gamma of the mixture is given, what can we do? Gamma of the mixture is given. What can we do? Think about it. Yeah. Okay. See, gamma of the mixture is nothing but Cp of the mixture upon Cv of the mixture. Perfect. Now what is the Cp of the mixture? Cp of the mixture is N1 Cp1 plus N2 Cp2 upon N1 plus N2, and this is nothing but N1 Cv1 plus N2 Cv2 upon N1 plus N2. Funny thing being, N1 plus N2 will cancel from both numerator and the denominator, and I am left with just N1 Cp1 plus N2 Cp2 upon N1 Cv1 plus N2 Cv2. That's the condensed formula of gamma mixture. Now it's just substituting, nothing else. Gamma of the mixture is given to be 1.5. Just substitute it as 1.5. N1 not known. Cp1 mono Cp is 5R by 2. So put 5R by 2. N2 Cp2 dia Cp is 7R by 2. So put 7R by 2. Next, N1 as it is. Cv1 mono Cv is 3R by 2. N2 dia Cv is 5R by 2. Okay, standard values you should know it by heart, else you will be struggling making some charts and God knows what. R by 2, R by 2, R by 2, R by 2 went off everywhere, and over here 1.5 is there, so I can just write it as 3 by 2 is equal to 5 times N1 plus 7 times N2 divided by 3 times N1 plus 5 times of N2. Just a mathematical long problem, otherwise it is a very straightforward question once you see what is happening over here. Okay, cross multiply. So 3 3s are 9, so 9 times of N1, 3 5s are 15, so 15 times of N2 is equal to 2 5s are 10, 10 times of N1 plus 7 2s are 14, 14 times of N2. N1 I will bring it here, 14 I will take it over here. So 15 N2 minus 14 N2 is 10 N1 minus 9 N1. So this is N1 and this is N2. Wow, what a thing, guys. N2 by N1 just coming out to be 1:1. After doing all of this, they both were equal. At least make the answer something nice, so I will feel happy about it. I feel like as something I have solved. For solving so much, 1:1 is the answer. Okay, anyways, what to do? Okay, got it, guys? So this is how you find gamma of the mixture. Oh, by the way, many people make a mistake in these problems and they write this stupid formula. Gamma of the mixture is N1 gamma 1 plus N2 gamma 2. This is a common mistake upon N1 plus N2. If you do it, gone. So this is not equal, guys. This is absolutely wrong equation. Never ever do that. Okay, never ever do that. So these are common mistake. Okay, anyways, moving on. An ideal Carnot engine works between this temperature. Find if it absorbs this much joules per cycle, what is the work done per cycle? Temperature is given, efficiency is known. Then if efficiency is known, we can find heat, work, everything if one of the other things are given. So efficiency is 1 by T cold by T hot. So we need to figure out efficiency, and efficiency is always the work done by heat which has been absorbed. So 1 minus cold. Cold is 27. 27 is plus 273, which is 300 in Kelvin. This will be 273 means 600 Kelvin. Isn't it? 600 Kelvin. Okay. So this will be nothing but 300. This will be nothing but 600. So this will be nothing but 1 by 2. Work done is asked and heat absorbed is given to be 600. Okay. So W by 600. 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. So therefore work will be 600 by 2, which is basically 300 joules. 300 is option A. 300 is option A. Right? Very good. Couple of you got it. Amazing. Moving on. Next question, guys, on your screen. Two rods of conductivity K are connected in series. What's the equivalent combination conductivity? Very good question, guys. Chances of silly mistakes are very high in this. So two rods like this. Okay. This is K, this is K. Think of it like two resistors in series. Thermal resistance is L by K, isn't it? Yes, everyone. Remember thermal resistance, which is the length of the rod by conductivity by area. So that is the equivalent resistance if you want to convert it into current electricity problem. So this is L by K. This is also L by Ka. So the combined resistance will be both of them being added because they are in series. So it will be 2 times L by K. That's it. But that's not what we have to find. We have to find the equivalent combinations thermal conductivity. So imagine I replace both these rods with one single rod. The one single rod will have a length of 2L versus the original rods having length LL being added. So total length will be 2L. So the thermal resistance of this guy will be total length 2L divided by total nu K multiplied by area. This number is obviously 2L by K, 2L divided by K. As you can see, AA goes 2L, 2L also goes. Guess what funny thing? The new K will just come out to be the old K. So there is actually no change. The answer is B. Many people will mark 2K or K by 2. I'm 100% sure they will mark either K by 2 or 2K because you guys miss this fact that the new rod will also have double the length. So actually 2L by K is the new formula for the new rod. So it is going to be unchanged. That, you know, is something which many people fail to realize. I'll tell you one thing, forget about these formulas. Just forget it. This is a rod, this is also a rod, same material. How can the thermal conductivity change if you just make a bigger rod of the same material? Think logically, no? It's the same material. This is copper, this is also copper. It's not like copper and aluminum, aluminum and iron or something like that. Copper, copper. Okay, you take a bigger copper rod. Conductivity is a an internal property. So why will it change? It should be K only. Even without solving, why did we even solve it? You should think like that. Yeah, it should not even change. Somebody just said, who is it? Tanumay. Very good. Correct. Tanumay. Exactly my point. It still showed you how you can do it. If the same question was for parallel also, it will be K only, man. Why will it change? It's the same rod, but one is copper, one is aluminum. The effective rod will be neither copper nor aluminum. It will be something else. Point charge placed at the corner of a cube of side L, the electric flux passing through one of the faces away from the vertex Q of the cube. Okay. So this is standard question. I'll tell you what to do in case you have forgotten. This was even asked in JEE mains long time back. Very favorite question of these examiners. Some people end up by-hearting, but why do you want to by-heart such things? So there is one charge at the corner of a cube. This is positive cube, and you have been asked how much flux will go through the face which is away from that corner. This face is away from the corner. It is not adjacent. It is away from the corner. So any one face, let's say I take this particular face, doesn't matter. How much will be the flux? So for that, you end up drawing a big cube. You end up drawing a big cube, something like this. See if you visualize, if you are able to visualize it. It's a big cube whose side length is double of this smaller cube's side length. Now, in that bigger cube, that cube is actually at the geometrical center of it. Yeah, that cube is at the geometrical center, that charge is at the geometrical center of that big cube. See if you are able to visualize it. Yeah, see if you are able to visualize this particular thing. So that cube is at the center of the big cube. If that is the scenario, then imagine how much flux will go through one of that face of that big cube. So how much will be the flux through the face of any one such big cube? Total flux will be Q by epsilon. So Q by epsilon, and there are 6 faces, so 1/6 of it. Every face will have Q by 6, Q by 6, Q by 6 epsilon. So any one such face will have Q by 6 epsilon. And in that, if you ask me, how much is the flux in this much part? Well, there are 4 such parts over here, as you can see. 4 such parts over here. So the flux which I need will be 1/4 of this number, which is Q by epsilon into 1/6. So it will become 1 by 24 Q by epsilon. 1 by 24 is there in option D. That is absolutely the right answer. Got it? This kind of questions are also very common. The charge will be placed somewhere randomly, maybe at the edge, maybe at the center. So these are standard questions. Next, 2 capacitors charged differently, different capacitors. Now they connect in parallel. So what will happen to the common potential? Standard question, guys. I'll tell you. Some people by-heart formulas not needed. See, you have a capacitor. Voltage is V. Another capacitor 2C. Voltage 2V, I believe. You take both of them. Their positive plates are joined together. Okay, fair enough. So basically the charges will get added up. Charges will get added up, C and 2C. So this positive will get added up. So this will behave now like a new capacitor whose new capacitance is how much? The capacitors in parallel, just add them. It will become 3C, which is in parallel equivalent. Is the equivalent capacitance in parallel. C plus C. 2C is 3C. In this process, the charges get added. The charges get added. So if I want to figure out what's the new potential, just figure out the new charge, your job is done. Just figure out what the new charge is, your job is done. Because Q is CV. If you know the Q, if you know the C, you know the V. You already know the C, which is 3C. You just need to figure out the Q. So for that, look at this. This guy will have a charge, let's say Q1 of C into V. This guy will have a charge of 2C into 2V, which is 4CV. So this guy will have a new charge is being added, Q1 plus Q2, which will be CV plus 4CV, which is 5 times CV. So that's it. I can say new capacitance's new charge will be Q is equal to C nu by new voltage. That's all. C nu is 3C, Q nu is 5CV. This I do not know. CC will get cancelled. So 5V by 3 is the new voltage. 5V by 3 is B option. Standard process every time. One catch, if they do not connect positives together, then positive will be connected to negative. So charges won't add, they will subtract, because positive charge will merge with the negative charge. So be careful. If positive is connected to negative, the only change in the entire process is here. Instead of CV plus 4CV, it will become 4CV minus CV. So it will become 3CV charge. Got it? Yes, everyone? Pakka? Yeah, that formula also, Thunder Viper X, comes exactly from this only. It's nothing new as such. Okay, it's the same thing. I've just explained you the logic. Because sometimes the question can be, the plates are oppositely charged and you are connecting it. The wire wire resistance are stretched 10% new resistance. Standard question. Whenever such stretching comes, keep in mind, do not ever use rho L by A, because area will change. I would not prefer this formula. I would rather convert that area in terms of length, and it becomes rho, what does it become? L square by V. Yeah, that is the most preferred formula, because volume is constant when you stretch. Volume is constant. So resistance is proportional to, the square of the length. That's the whole idea, not just proportional to the length. Okay. So you increase by 10%. So what happens? New length will be old length plus 10% of L. So 10% is 0.1. So it will become 1.1 L. So new resistance by old resistance will be new length by old length, but this will be square because it is square proportional. New resistance I do not know. Old resistance is just R. New by old is 1.1 L divided by just L whole square. So this will become new resistance by old resistance. 1.1 square is 1.21. So the new resistance is old resistance into 1.21. This is very obvious now. Option B is the right answer. So it has increased by 21%, as you can notice. Yeah, a lot of people, also have seen, they use this concept. They judge this correctly till this point, but they make a mistake after this. They say, sir, resistance is proportional to L square. Sir, so delta R by R percentage is 2 times the delta L by L. And sir, length has changed by how much? 10%. Okay, so this will be 20%. So resistance changed by 20%. So hence the new resistance will be 1.2 R. But this is not the right answer. It is wrong, although options are not there. But even if it was there, you will not mark it. Reason, you cannot use this formula because the error is large. 10% is a huge error. This is only for small errors, not for large errors. If you use it, you are gone. You will get a wrong answer. You can see the difference is not much, 1.2 and 1.21, but it is there in the second decimal. But if the percentages were like 15-20%, then the error will increase even further. Okay, it will not be accurate. Getting it? When to use versus when not to use? Pakka? Shall we go ahead? Potentiometer balancing length. Potentiometer, doubtful whether it is there, not there, but still just doing it. You never know. You cannot challenge it that, oh, it is out of syllabus. The internal resistance of the cell is how much? Oh, this is the concept of finding internal resistance of a cell. So you take the potentiometer and then you connect this circuit like this, right? First without this load, second time with the load. So there is a small switch over here. That switch is first open and then you close it, and then you measure the balancing length, first without closing, then with closing, and all of that. So then the formula comes out to be something like this. The internal resistance is the external load resistance into L1 by L2 minus 1. That's what you will get. Okay, is that right, everyone? This is what the formula. Yeah, I don't think it is there too, but still I'm doing it just in case it comes. We won't be able to challenge it so easily. It's not an exam where we can challenge, and they might always argue you should know it and God knows what. So anyways, this is 2 and L1 is how much? 240. L2 is 120. Okay, first length and second length. So this will become 2 minus 1, which is just 1. So it will become 2 ohms. Oh, what a simple value. Anyways, the answer is 2 ohms. Okay, so this is finding internal resistance of a cell using potentiometer method. Not really so sure it will come, but if it comes, we can do it. Electron moves in a circular orbit with a uniform speed. It produces a magnetic field at the center. Interesting. Radius of the circle is proportional to. All right. So we have a charge Q moving with some speed, has some radius, and also ending up producing a magnetic field at the center. Why the hell is it producing magnetic field? Well, magnetic field is produced by a current carrying coil mu naught I by 2 times of R. But where is the current over here? You might ask. Current is there because charge is moving in a circle. So current is how much the charge flows in how much time it takes. In one time period, the charge flown is Q, and the time period is given by, time is distance by speed, so distance by speed over here. Okay, so current is QV by 2 pi R. Perfect. So use this current, which is QV by 2 pi R, QV by 2 pi R from here. Current is QV by 2 pi R over here. This mu naught is as it is, this 2R is as it is, this is B. What have been asked? The radius of the circle is proportional to. So R into R is R square. So bring R square over here. Mu naught is as it is, Q is as it is, QV is as it is, 2 2s are 4, pi is there, and B will come down. So R square is proportional to V by B. That means R is proportional to root of V by B. R is proportional to root of V by B, which is C option. That's absolutely right. Okay. Oh, don't use R is equal to MV by QV. Oh my God, this is common mistake. Thank God you pointed it out. Guys, R is equal to MV by QB is a formula for a charge which is thrown inside a magnetic field, which is thrown perpendicular to the magnetic field. This is a completely different question. The magnetic field is produced because of a rotating charge. Why it is rotating, I don't know. Maybe somebody has tied a string or put it on a motor or a fan and it is rotating deliberately by force. And that is producing a field. This is the radius of a charged particle inside a field who is produced by somebody else. Completely different things. Got it, Saurav? Cyclotron, everything. Yeah, so see, you know, these are very small things, but how IIT plays is exactly that. At that point of the time in the examination, you make that conceptual error, and that's when the marks go off. So it's not a difficult question, lengthy question. No, it's just about that at that moment you make that mistake. Okay. Proton alpha accelerated same voltage, standard question, uniform magnetic field. See, this is that question. You put a charged particle inside magnetic field, it goes in circular path. The ratio of the radii. See, this is that question. All right. So radius is equal to mv by qb. Proton and alpha, meaning mass and charge, are different. Same voltage, that means speeds could be different. All right. So when this is given, they are accelerated through the same voltage difference. I can say that charge into voltage difference is half mv square. So my velocity will be root of 2 times of charge into voltage divided by mass, isn't it? So 2qv by m, and the root, yes. So just put that over here. So it will become root of 2 times q voltage divided by m. Okay, mass is there, q is there, b is there. M by qb is there, only velocity I have put it by this formula. Mm cancels, qq cancels root wise, b remains. So 2 is there, voltage is there, and root q cancels, q root remains here, cancels, root m remains here. So from this, r is proportional to root of m, inversely proportional to root of q. That's it. Now we are ready. So first I make my groundwork clear, who is proportional to whom. Then I will substitute. It's not like I'll calculate everything for proton, then I'll calculate everything for that another thing, then I will take the ratio. What a headache. Don't do that. First do the groundwork. See, I'll eliminate unnecessary things like magnetic field is same, 2 is a constant, voltage is the same. Why do you want to break your head again and again? So the ratio of the radii of the circular parts of the proton and alpha particle will be radius is proportional to masses root. So mass of proton, mass of alpha, inversely proportional to charge. So charge of alpha, charge of proton. Mass of proton and alpha 1:4. Charge of alpha 2 times of proton. So this will be 1 by 2. This will be root 2. So this will be 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 means B option. That's it. Just lengthy question, but doable. I mean, it's not like, oh, it's going to be crazy, isn't it? Yeah, very nice. No, not A, B option, man. In series LCR, voltage across the resistance, inductor, capacitance, blah, 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 RMS value of the voltage. These voltages, are they RMS or they peaks? What is it? Is it a RMS or is it a peak? Because if it is a peak, I need to convert into RMS to solve the problem, to finally get into RMS. If it is RMS, then don't break your head, just solve it normally. Whenever voltages are given without specifying anything about it, it's always going to be RMS. Okay, when nothing is given, always consider it as RMS. So good thing for us, everything is RMS. So the net voltage, standard formula, VR square plus VL minus VC whole square, very similar to impedance formula. The net impedance is R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Same formulas are applicable here too. So just substitute everything literally. VR 30, VL 60, this is 20. So this will become 30 square minus 40 square. Guys, this is 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triplet, 30, 40, 50. That's it. So answer directly is 50 volts. Don't even sit and calculate and all of that. I mean, it's a Pythagorean triplet, 3, 4, 5. Yeah? Don't just add voltages directly, because voltages add like vectors in AC. In DC they add normally, but in AC they don't add like scalars, they add like vectors because of the phase difference. They are sinusoidal voltages, so you have to consider the wave nature of the AC. Got it? Okay. Moving on to the next one. Displacement current arises due to, very nice question, can be confusing at times. You will forget what is displacement current. Well, displacement current, remember, you take a capacitor and the actual current, this is IC, conduction current. But here, what you get is displacement current. And why is the displacement current coming? These are the charges of the capacitor, they keep changing and the charges will produce electric field. This electric field keeps changing. So it is because of time varying electric field. Yes, not time varying magnetic field. Time varying magnetic field creates induced electric field, that is EMF. That's completely different. Yes, it is C option. Many people I have seen, they write D option. because of confusion. Otherwise, it's nothing. Work function of a metal, light, maximum energy is how much? Standard photoelectric question, people again sometimes make stupid mistakes here. So energy of the photon is the work function plus the maximum kinetic energy. Work function is given to me. Energy of the photon is not given to me, but we can find it out. We all know energy of photon is 1240 divided by the wavelength. Provided the wavelength is in nanometer, then the answer that I get it is in electron volt. So this is my work function, but this work function also I'll put it in electron volt. So kinetic energy will also be in electron volt unit. That's the difference. So 1240 wavelength 200, put 200, work function 4 electron volt plus maximum kinetic energy 0 0 gone, 124 by 2, 62 6.2 is equal to 4 plus K max. So K max is equal to 6.2 minus 4, which is 2.2. So 2.2 is option A. That's it. Simple. Yeah, everything in electron volt. Option A. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Perfect. Moving on. Next one. Ratio of the de Broglie wavelength of a proton and alpha particle having same kinetic energy. Ratio of de Broglie wavelength. Oh my god. De Broglie is lambda. Lambda is h by momentum, and momentum is a root of 2 times m times of kinetic energy. That means my wavelength de Broglie's is dependent on kinetic energy. Having same kinetic energy, no. It's inversely proportional to root of mass, because kinetic energy is the same. So it is inversely proportional to root of mass. So lambda of proton by lambda of alpha will be mass of alpha by mass of proton. Proton and alpha ratio is 4:1. So it will be 2:1. So 2:1 is option B. No, it is not A, man. It is not A. It is B option. Okay. B. No, not 1:2. It is 2:1. Okay. Okay. In hydrogen atom, the transition from 3 to 1 yields a photon of energy. Standard. Hydrogen atom, lowest energy is minus 13.6. Then if you go n is equal to 1, this is n is equal to 2, this is n is equal to 3. How much is the energy? This is 1.51 negative. Is that right? Negative 1.51. Okay. So what next? This was minus 3.4. Yeah. For n is equal to 2. Question is, if you jump from here to here, a photon will be emitted. What is the energy of that? So energy of that photon will be the energy difference between the orbits. So it will be minus 1.51 minus 13.6. Basically 13.6 minus 1.51, which is how much, guys? 12.09. Yes, 12.09. Just check this out. Yeah, everyone getting it? 12.09. Very good B option. These values better remember it standard, because calculating it will take extra time, and many times even in chemistry this will come, even in physics it is coming. So why do you want to sit and calculate it 100 times? Okay, these are standard values. Cool. Okay, moving on to the next one. A radioactive sample has a half-life of 10 days. What fraction of the sample is decayed after 30 days? Simple. You might argue that this is there or not there, but even if it is not there, they can still ask, and it's not a very difficult thing. Half-life is something they can just explain. Half-life is that time which takes for a sample to become half of its original value. If they add this line, then they can ask this question. Okay. So half-life of 10 days, meaning if it was n, in 10 days it will become n by 2. In more 10 days, it will become n by 4. In more 10 days, total 30 days, it will become half of that, which is n by 8. N by 8 is remaining. N by 8 is remaining. So how much has decayed? N minus n by 8, which is 7n by 8. So the fraction is 7 by 8, not 1 by 8. This is a common mistake. Again, many people make it. Yes. So read the question carefully whether it is undecayed. Undecayed means remain. Remaining means undecayed. This is undecayed part which is remaining. So that means out of n, n by 8 is still remaining. So the decayed part will be n minus n by 8, which is 7n by 8, which is 7/8 as a fraction. Cool. Everyone, pakka, done, dusted. Let's go. In a PN junction diode, the reverse bias current is due to theoretical question on semiconductors. Increase of drift and diffusion current, breakdown of the depletion zone due to the drift current. Diffusion current increases breaking potential, the barrier over the drift current. Diffusion current reduces to a value lower than the drift current, creating a small leakage current. Okay, very interesting, very confusing if you don't know the theory, if you don't know what is drift, diffuse, how it works. Please leave this question, you cannot mark it. Okay, so I'll tell you what happens basically in a PN junction. Keep this in mind. This is P, this is N, P, N, P, N. Now, usually in equilibrium, when there is no bias, okay, no bias, unbiased, no bias, then electrons from N will go to P. That means diffusion is happening this side. So diffusion current is this way and drift current is exactly the opposite way, and they both are equal, and therefore the net current is obviously 0 because there is obviously no bias. But when there is a forward bias, then it is the diffusion which increases. So we will see diffusion will be more and the drift will stay as it is, not change so much. And the difference is exactly which causes the net current. So this is what which causes the net current. In case of forward bias, it is the increase of the diffusion current. But when we talk about reverse bias, the diffusion current becomes smaller. The drift current still stays almost the same. It doesn't change much. It's the diffusion current which reduces. So the difference, you can see the balance has gone towards this side. This is your net current which is negligible. It is called as the leakage. Current. This happens in reverse bias. So it's the diffusion current which reduces in value to a value which is lower than the drift current. Hence the net current is in the direction of the drift, which is the reverse bias current, which is also called as the leakage current. So hence answer is D. Okay. If you know the theory, you know it, else you will make a mistake. Cool? Understood? Pakka? Done? Dusted? Alright. Yeah. Ashmita, why you left this? Why were you going there? Because they are paying you more. They are paying you less. No. Nobody is paying anything more. It's just that I wanted to teach on this channel. It's just that I wanted to continue teaching on JEE English. Okay. Audible? Am I audible? Yeah. Pakka? Yeah, Pakka? Audible now? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So why I left here, why I left there? Simple reason, man. I just wanted to teach on JEE English. That's all. Nothing else. Nobody paid me more. In fact, paid me less only, you can say. So it doesn't matter. It's just that I made this choice because I wanted to continue teaching on J English. I have worked hard on this channel for 5 to 6 years. I've been teaching, ensuring that there is quality content being delivered in English language. When nobody is doing, nobody knows how to do it properly. People tried, came, went, nobody was able to succeed except for me, my team, who was able to manage it, do it for a long time, 5-6 years. So that's the reason why I'm here, to make sure that I give you that content. Okay, right? And thank you, Ashmita, for all the support. Right, so let's move to the next one. If the radius of a sphere is increased by 0.2%, mass is increased by 0.9%, and the density changes by how much percentage? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's do this question. Density is the mass by volume. Sphere we are talking about. So volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 3 by 4 pi m r raised to minus 3 is the density, isn't it? So that means del rho by rho is, this is a constant, forget it. Masses power is basically 1. So you will have del m by m plus you can say del r by r and 3 times of it. Now here is the catch. Observe carefully. The radius is changed by this much, mass is changed by 0.9%. Now in this formula of density, which has mass, where is it? 3 by 4 pi is there, mass is here and r cube is here. If mass is increased, what effect does it have on density? Because it is in the numerator, that will also increase. So increasing mass has a positive effect on the density. On the other hand, what effect does increasing the radius have? Increasing the radius have, it's in the denominator. So if denominator increases, the ratio decreases, so it has a negative impact. So technically speaking, don't put plus over here, it has a negative impact, so put minus. This is very good question because many kids put plus over here and they solve the question like solving errors. They forget the fact that one is in the numerator, one is in the denominator, so they can have different impacts as such. Yeah. Yes, YK, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I know it. It's like, I think one of the movies where, I think Batman says, Bruce Wayne says, everything is lost and you are starting from the scratch. How does it feel? Some people get broken. Some people feel that, okay, man, I had built so much. I had so many subscribers, so many things, so many systems in place. And now, sir, you are again starting it from the scratch. Won't you feel disappointed? No, man, I will again build it brick by brick. It's very simple. Okay. So that's my, I would say, motivation, and that's how I work. And that's how I think you should to work. Okay. It doesn't matter. You can have ups and downs in life. Everything you might have to start right from the scratch, right from zero. But it's okay. We'll build it right from the scratch, brick by brick. Okay. So anyways, coming back to the point over here. What's this delta m by m? Delta m by m is 0.9%. So let's put 0.9 percentage over here, minus 3 times. Radius has changed by 0.2%. So this will become 0.9% minus 0.6%, which is positive remainder. So positive 3%, 0.3%, meaning eventually the density has increased. Yeah. It's only the worst case scenarios which are added. Yes, very true. And the worst case scenario will be when mass has increased, radius has decreased, or mass has reduced and radius has increased. So numerator increases, denominator should reduce, or numerator should reduce and denominator should increase. Those are the two worst extremes. One will be extremely positive, one will be extremely negative. And that is what you learn in errors. But if one of the things changes other way around, then plus minus can happen. Okay. Yeah, so this is the only reason. Sir, if the temperature of an unbiased PN junction diode is increased, what will happen to its barrier potential? Will it increase, decrease, or remain same? So when you increase the temperature, what happens is the ease of transmission of those electrons, the thermal energy will increase, kinetic energy will increase. So easily they can jump over the barrier. So the barrier will reduce, you can say. Yeah. Okay, great. Even if it's in the denominator, it's usually to add. So denominator, if it is to add, see, simple. If in the same question it was said the mass would have decreased by 0.9%, then it will have a negative impact, so I'll put minus sign. If it was said the radius of the sphere is decreased, then radius decreasing will increase the density, so then I will put plus over here. So you should say what kind of impact it has, positive or negative. Increase means positive, decrease means negative. That's how it is. Okay. Is that clear, Thunder Viper? I'll just explain it to you in a simple way. Okay. Density is mass by radius, something, radius cube, chumma. So imagine a case where mass has increased, radius has also increased. So then it will become delta m by m. Radius increasing will have a negative impact, so minus 3 delta r by r. Similarly, let's say mass has reduced, radius has also reduced. So mass reducing means minus the delta m by m. Radius reduction will increase the density, so plus 3 delta r by r. Something like Doppler effect. Next, let's say mass has increased, radius has decreased. Mass increasing, numerator increases, density increases, so delta m by m will have positive impact, radius decreases, so denominator decreases, positive impact, so plus 3 delta r by r. Similarly, if mass reduces, radius increases, mass reduces, negative impact, so minus delta m by m, radius increases, negative impact, so minus 3 delta r by r. Now in the error situation, what happens? You consider the extreme cases. The maximum possible value that you can get is this, and the least possible value you can get is this. So this is max, this is min, but magnitude wise this is the same. If you think about it, if you take the negative sign common outside, if this is plus 6, this will be minus 6. If this is plus 0.3, this will be minus 0.3. So magnitude wise is what you wonder and want in errors. So like plus minus 0.3%. So this is the plus side, this is the minus side. So then you say plus minus delta m by m plus delta 3 times delta r by r. So that is what you write. So then you write plus minus delta m by m plus 3 times delta r by r. So when you write this, you have considered both the maximum and the minimum value. Getting my point now? Yeah. So I hope I have explained this concept clearly over here. Okay, this question I think you can do it as homework, not a big deal at all. Which physical quantity, something at least for you guys to comment, otherwise you guys don't comment anything. You don't even say hi, hello, yes sir, thank you, nothing, one heart also you guys don't put. So I put one laddu question for you guys, so at least you will solve and you're like, okay sir, I know the answer, and you will be excited to put the answer in the comments. So put up the answer in the comment section. That was the last question for today. Answer is there on the next slide, PDF, everything will be there. Okay, download the PyLens app. You can see the notes, you can see the lecture, you can ask doubts, you can ask questions, follow up, watch it recorded, and you know, it's like a AI analyzing like with a lens this particular lecture, which is the PyLens app, which is absolutely free on the App Store and the Google Store, or even in the, you can say Chrome. You can just download it as a plugin. Okay, it's fine. Thank you so much. Yeah, most tough question. That's why deliberately I gave it as a homework. Okay, kidding guys. Chalo, have a great time. All the best for your IIT exam, and I have a very special session lined up for all of you very soon. I can't tell you right now, but yes, a very special session. Okay, I'll tell you about it very soon. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great time. Good night.